Do I look skinny? Welcome everyone to the very first episode of Mariana's Mouthful. I'm your host, Mariana Kramer-DeLuna. Today I am so excited to be here with my very best friend in the world, and frankly the only person I think I could ever start a podcast with, because the thought of doing this by myself gives me crippling anxiety and the need to go back to therapy. My best friend, Michael Miller. Woo!
Woo! Hello.
That's the most positive I've ever seen you about yourself. Michael and I have been talking about doing this podcast for, I don't know, since the inception of us, because we remain in the same lab, but probably 2016. If you see two friends from high school, you have to know that there was once a trio involved, and so we are the remaining of the trio. And I remember trio times, we can say. We were in that person's house listening to like Sam and Colby, Tana Mojo, like the kind of podcast visual, before podcasts ever were a thing. I think that's what it was. You sit there and watch these story times for like 45 minutes on YouTube, and Michael and I look at each other and we're like, well, one day, more jokingly, but honestly, that we weren't joking, I think, at that point, because we knew this was going to come. I shared what I actually wanted to online. I would be famous. I feel like my stories enough that I've shared on live have gotten some views, and thank God none of them have been clipped. But looking at it now, and obviously for the sake of my legal career, there are a lot of things that have to be filtered out. But that's sort of how this podcast, I think, really started. Mariana's Mouthful, first of all, we'll talk about sort of the format of everything in just a second, but the name originated, probably the only benefit I ever got from a military man was the following sentence: listening to you is like having Mariana's Mouthful for the day. And I was like, that's genius. And so obviously, thank you, North Dakota, I'm going to monetize off of it, and now we are here. And that's how Mariana's Mouthful actually got its name. And then, well, actually, really quickly, the other name we were thinking about was Mariana's Trenches, because Mariana's Trench. But what are you going to say? Nothing?
I was just going to agree.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like, well, Mariana's Trenches, I feel like, is more of like a periodic time in my life. Like those 3 weeks during finals, I just want to bang my head against the ocean. Not a wall. I feel like just like the ocean.
And like into living here and like being in school and suffering together and life is
giant trenches.
Yeah, we're just in a trench together.
I kept saying, honestly, the last few months of my life, and even probably still to today, this will be like a full solo episode. It's like your army crawling through during like, okay, this is such a niche reference. You know that Hillary Duff movie, Cadet Kelly? When she's like going,
I know of it.
Okay, she's like going through, she's like army crawling through, and they're all like spraying her. At this point, I'm just getting Nerf gunned down. Like, I'm not getting shot at, it's just BB Nerf guns getting thrown at me, and I'm like, it hurts, but I'll keep going, you know? But that was the original Mariana's Trenches, was the other one we were gonna do. But then Mariana's Mouthful was what everyone sort of stuck with, and obviously before we actually got to the podcast, which was like a 3-4 month process, I was actually doing name testing with people, and that's now how we're here, and I think it's a really cool way to do it.
It's easier off the tongue.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was like really fluid, really like solid. And I just like, I don't know, I feel like I do have a lot to say, and that sort of leads to how we got into today's, very first episode, and what I guess will be the rest of this podcast series, which I hope will be an indefinite thing. I think, sort of full disclosure, we did film an episode before this, but we decided that it would just be better for all of you listening to re-record. And obviously, I realized I hated my outfit in the first one, and so it actually is better because we get the second episode, and Carlos is looking at me like, but see, it all works out, Carlos, always in my favor, because I'm just a lucky girl. I have lucky girl syndrome. I keep talking about this. Again, whole other topic we can get into. But let's get into the like actual format of Mariana's Mouthful. If it's not clear, I have crippling ADHD to the point that I will say things in my head that I think are just funny. And maybe it makes me look like I'm a little bit schizophrenic or crazy, but like I just naturally am a funny person. And so what I started to do was either through the day when I was like messaging Michael this stuff, I would start to keep a checklist or reminder list on my phone and like record or put down whatever I thought was, funny for that day. Some of it would go on TikTok, some of it would be on Instagram, and many of it was saved for our personal humor and benefit. Let's get into this very first episode, which we'll get into now, and that is, again, how energy drinks are a sign of the recession. I wish I could take credit for this idea. I really wish it was me who was like sitting on my TikTok, doom scrolling, was like, with my master's degree, right? No. This girl was sitting there and she was like, I'm telling you, the reason that we know we're screwed as a society is because energy drinks are up. And I was thinking about this. I was like, wait, that is so true. And then I thought about Michael. Michael drinks. First of all, we are like Bloom addicts. If you come into our house, you will have been offered a Bloom sparkling energy, a Bloom pop, a Bloom daily hydration. If you would like a coffee, we have Bloom creatine coffee. And then you may get water. Like there's a hierarchy in our house about what you will be offered. And upon that, we drink a significant amount ourselves. I drink 1 energy drink and then probably 2 pops a day. Michael, however, drinks 3 energy drinks usually. And those energy drinks have 180 milligrams of caffeine. That is also not including what we call the laxative, aka his morning coffee. And on top of that, he drinks Diet Coke. So if you think about it, just putting all the numbers together, I'm not good at math. I'm a lawyer. So I mean,
don't look at me. I'm not good at math either.
Do a square root right now.
Well, the square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 144 is 12.
I'm going to put a pin in this for right now because
y'all.
Square
root of 196
this is the
14.
only thing we've ever.
Square root of 225 is 15.
Oh my God. I will punch you with love.
Square root of 189 is 13. No, 14.
I want y'all to know. Hold up. We're actually okay. Energy drinks.
189 is 13. Yeah, I think. 219 is 14. I think. Yeah, I don't know. One of them.
I'm so proud of you. So let me just tell you.
Mind you, I failed pre-calc 10 times.
And I tutored him for 7 of them. That's why this pisses me off so much. Imagine sitting with this man. No, okay. Side note from the energy drink recession. Because honestly, I will drink 4 energy drinks.
This is very important.
It's so important because I will drink 4 energy drinks after this to kill myself because of what this actual story and like event is. Michael, God love him, is so brilliant in creativity. Like genuinely one of the best choreographers, dancers, and like it's sort of scary because he's sitting there in silence looking like the Grim Reaper in the corner, and then he comes out and does this like most beautiful contemporary sad song. It's a fun process to watch him be a part of. He does it really fast too, and then is the best in the class, but we're not going to talk about that. So he, before coming to San Francisco, I love how I'm telling your life story, went to Long Beach.
You tell it better than I do.
Went to Long Beach City College. He has to take, first of all, love you. This motherfucker wanted to take neuroscience, psychology, dance. He was going to be a neurosurgeon / dancer. I don't know what he was thinking, but he was going to come out with 3 AAs, and I'm not talking about the alcoholics program. So I was just like, okay, if we're going to get you to neuroscience, which by the way, he passed his organic chemistry. Kills it, by the way. To get to it was neuroscience. He has to take pre-calc. He takes it once, fails. Takes it a second time, fails. At that point, thing 3 comes in and starts
dropped it the second time.
Okay, drops it the second time. Third time, thing 3 comes in, starts tutoring him.
Dropped it
because he fails it or can't get his life together on it.
Because
he was failing it. Takes it a 4th time. It was the 5th time that they brought in the troops, aka Mariana. And the one thing is, if you're going to study with Mariana, you're going to study with Mariana. I don't play rules, and Lord help my children. Like, they're going to have a reward-based system with gold stars because that is how you make winners in society. So I basically input this system with him. It fails. You have to understand, my system is a tried and true made. I went through pre-calc 3 times with him. We couldn't get it. We have this big fight. I'll never forget this in high school. Crying. We come back together. We're good. I am studying in fall of 2025. Our running joke is that he is horrendous at math. He comes in and he's looking at my contracts equations for remedies, which if you...
That was not fall 2025. That was literally like this past semester.
Was it? I thought it was fall.
No, it was spring 2026.
Then what class was I taking that involved math? Anyway, that tells you how much of a blur this law school thing is. Don't do it. It's horrendous. I'm kidding. If you're an employer, I love it. And I actually want to be hired.
It was like 2 or 3 months ago. It was not that long ago, actually.
Okay, so either way, he comes in. There's math on the board, and he goes, exactly what y'all just witnessed. Started doing all the square roots in the world, and I am not kidding you. I am sitting there infuriated Because what do you mean that there's a secret door in your brain that has this information? We could have capitalized on this when we were doing matrices.
We didn't even get to matrices.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It would have been the prime opportunity to do it. But anyway, at that point, I was like, let me have 4 of my energy drinks from Bloom, and I'm just going to knock out. But that brings us back to, where the economy is at, because if this is the reason that, we're starting a podcast is hopefully to make it that tells you how bad it is. But, man, I really be thinking about how bad our economy is like at least 3 times a day, and I call you about it. Is it true? Yeah.
I mean, it's not even that, but let's also talk about how someone found a rat in an Alani can, and it's still selling.
Don't even get me started. People, they found a rat in an Alani new energy drink, not Bloom, just saying, and we still drink it. I have it in my fridge. I'm like, I'm a hypocrite for this one, but like, we do not care. We do not care as a society. We are willing to, like, that is, I mean, you know what? F it. Like, the U.S. is in worse credit, score debt than I am. And honestly, if we call it before the U.S. does, I think we've called it a great day. Like I am. Honestly. And that leads us to our next conversational point, which is like explaining economics to anyone, but honestly explaining things to men. And now, I, again, wish I could take credit for the, energy drinks being a sign of the recession, but I also wish I could take credit for the fact that some girl said explaining things to a man is explaining color to someone who's never seen it. And listen, I will not talk about my, I guess you would call it conspiracy theory, like about how I feel with like people like Helen Keller and like how they perceive child. I don't know if you guys can hear the pitter patter in the back. Yeah. Yeah, literally, if y'all hear that, that is my beautiful child, Chancellor, and his sister, Moni, just coming. Sorry, y'all. This is very much a at-home DIY version of podcasting, aka including our dogs.
Hey.
Lay down. Chancellor.
Anja.
Go.
Is that Korean?
Yeah. I told you, I taught him Korean.
Oh, yeah, my dog speaks Korean, Hebrew, Spanish, and English. And if you think about a little bit of the language from Game of Thrones.
The other one doesn't.
Wait, which language?
Dothraki? Okay, this is such a niche thing, but I love the Dothraki language. I don't want that disclosed on the internet, but honestly, at least y'all know. We here. No, so again, I wish I could take credit for the theory having to do with explaining things to a man is like explaining color to a person who's never seen it before. And so that sparked the following idea. How would you explain color? I know in our last sort of pseudo test run episode, we used the color blue. I want you to do the color periwinkle purple. And then you can give me a color and I'll try to explain it. But your color is periwinkle purple. How would you explain that to a person who's never seen color?
Oh my God.
I feel like the way I'm laughing is ableist, but I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
Purple? I couldn't even do regular purple. And that's my favorite color, bruh. Oh my God.
I think of purple. Think of Justin Bieber 2007, sorry.
His baby poster?
Don't even get me started. That is when I realized that thank God I was fat in high school. I would have been killer otherwise.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
You know how you do Let me answer my own question. If
Please.
I had to describe periwinkle purple to someone, I would say, imagine you're feeling a flower, but you push that flower really hard. And like obviously the feather, what's it called? The petal. The feather.
The feather.
The feather. The petal will wither. And when you press harder, it just becomes a darker shade. So if you think about it, it's that feeling. Periwinkle purple.
Right. Right.
I just feel like I have very niche ways of explaining things.
Okay, go ahead and explain chartreuse green.
What is chartreuse green, first of all?
Chartreuse green.
That sounds like that E. coli thing going around right now in lettuce. Chartreuse green.
Chartreuse green is like,
I bet you if you told Trump that's what like is going on with the
it's
like
like-
lettuce, he'd be like, I believe it. Sorry.
kind of like the official color. It's like similar to like highlighter green, kind of.
Chartreuse.
But it's like a little off of.
Chartreuse green. I just want you guys to know that I spelled chartreuse
C-H-A-
S-A-R-C-H-E-U-S-E.
C-H-A-R-T-R-E. C-H-A-R-T-R.
I have a master's degree.
U-S-E.
Did you know that? Jesus.
I have an associate's.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know chartreuse
In
green.
dance.
And that proves that education levels do not matter. That proves. I'm telling you, some of the smartest people I know never went to college. Actually, I'm not going to endorse for all you to not go to college, but also I'm like, it's not really that important anyway. Let's think. Chartreuse green. Okay, if this person was once able to see in like middle school, then I would explain it the following. But then if like something happened, then their like perception changed, then that. But I'll do two avenues. Okay. You know when you look at a plant cell in a textbook and you know that ugly green of the McGaw-Hill book? That's what that is. So if they had seen it before, that's what I would tell them. That's what that is. If they have never seen chartreuse green, I would say, but again, they have no frame of it, but say, think of a witch, but then it's like, you can't really, okay.
I mean, that's kind of a good example.
Gipple?
Like the color of Elphaba skin.
Yeah, like an alphaba, kind of like, I've changed for good,
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, what?
Because I knew you.
Yeah, imagine that and being like, yeah, the color is because I knew you. Like literally just like goes into full like Broadway like performance for this shit is crazy. But no, I think I would explain it that way. It would be like, think of like a witch, think of like the edge of a plant. Like the stem. Are all
I think all stems are similar, or like a little darker.
Are all stems green?
Yes. I think pretty sure. I'm
Guys,
pretty sure.
I am a proud product of UC Law and USC. This is going to tell you
Unless it's a tree.
Wait, but even then, if you think about it, aren't those like, yeah, the bark and the circles are brown and yeah, but like aren't the roots?
Everything on a tree is brown except for the leaves.
Wait, even the roots?
Yes.
But how do they get water? Sorry. I'm like
Speaking of stems.
Speaking of stems.
It has a green stem.
That's what I don't think Legos are like necessarily the biggest indicator of real life. I'm like, this is a good transition to go into my infamous lump.
Are we changing that order?
I mean, why not? I think it's like more of a natural, gradual thing. I mean, honestly, if you can't tell, it's very much like a free flow podcast, and we have a general idea of what we want to talk about. Just, again, most things in my brain really do connect. It does come full circle, but we do take the scenic route to get there. So just bear with me. That's why these episodes are like 45 minutes or so. But I want to share with y'all the reason that I'm so funny, and that is because my dad's dead. And I, again, don't want to like put a blanket statement out there, but I feel that people who have lost parents at a younger age just are naturally going to be funnier people because we have to be. So we've like been able to fact check this with so many people. Like I genuinely believe that, because how else are you supposed to cope with grief without humor? And you're a kid, and so like your humor is already immature, but it grows and it builds, and it's a beautiful arc that you get to have. And then again, you may start content creation and be sitting on a podcast chair with paintings from Ross like me one day.
But I'm funny and my parents are alive.
Well, how's your dad's relationship? Does it feel like he's dead?
Moving on.
Yeah, okay. So we I love you. He's gonna watch this. Pay your
No, he won't.
honestly. If he's not, can we just tell him to like pay his bills and not be an ass? And stand
Can you
on
pay
bit-
more than DirecTV, please?
Can you play more than DirecTV? Like, sorry, I'm like, you haven't paid DirecTV in 2026. What are you doing? Get some FiOS in this B. Anyway, so
We actually don't even have DirecTV anymore.
You know what? And that is the power move of the century. She said, the only bill you pay, I'm changing the provider. Okay, now that, I love her. Oh, but as you were saying, dad. So I have a story to share with y'all, and I feel like if I can give you a representation about what my life is, it's this story. And well, there's actually plenty of stories. We have like my childhood dog dying, which is my boyfriend who's in the audience over here, his favorite story about that. But the other story I have just happened when I went back home for the first time in a very long time. I had one goal when I went back home, and that was to go see my dad's grave. I haven't really gone by myself ever, and if I have, it has been very much, I thought I could do it, walk up, and then I walked away because I was like, I'm traumatized. But I feel that now I'm in a very healthy state of my life. And so, well, I thought so. Or I thought I would be. And then, unfortunately, the story happens. So, we go back home. Michael's staying at my house, sleeping on the couch. And I told him I'm going to go see my dad. It's like, okay. I'm like, I should
No, you didn't.
Did I not tell you?
No.
Oh, well, that goes to where
That's another topic.
where I unintentionally gaslight you. Yeah, we can talk about that after. See, it all flows. And so I went to go see my dad. Actually, I talked to my friend Diane for like 30, 45 minutes before. I had like a good debrief, good cry about how I was feeling, yada, yada, yada. And then I brought flowers. Y'all, I was prepared. I went to Sprouts. I didn't buy the $10.99 one. I bought the $12.99 one. So that's how you know I was being a good Jewish daughter for a second, right? And so I get to where my dad's buried. And really quick precursor / something y'all should know. And I hope my mom or whoever in my family is watching this is not going to be so mad that I say it, but also maybe will incentivize all of us to do something about this. My dad died when I was 11. I turned 25 on Thursday. He has no headstone. Why? Because no one in my family could agree as to what would be on this headstone. And or, depending on who you ask or what the rationale or reason is, we can't get the time to come together as a family and figure out the way to do it in the ceremonial way we want to. Okay, either way, that's fine. We all still go see my dad. And frankly, I believe he's with me all the time, not just in, a graveyard. So in order to identify my dad, I identified him sort of in the lump position that he was in underground. And then I would see if it was diagonal from, I'm going to make up their names, but like the Silversteins, because we're in a Jewish cemetery. So he's like diagonal from the Silversteins and just a little bit elevated. And, that was my frame of reference for quite some time until, as you can tell by my vast science knowledge, by not knowing that stems are green, the earth evens out and shifts. So what happens to dirt? Dirt settles and becomes flat. And so I get there to my dad's house, as you may say, and I'm like, let me go find where the front door's at. Go over to the Silverstein, make my diagonal, and I realize, my gosh, a lot of people must have died in the last 2 years. This is a lot more spots than I remember. And because they are very, forward-thinking families, they have headstones. And so I realize in this moment, I can't find my father. And if anything, he is now has to be like it sounds really messed up, but like sort of a sliver of the normal area he was originally at because of the amount of people. And that's just how, these things usually work. And so I realized, I'm like, okay, first of all, you went to enough therapy, use your coping skills, 3 deep breaths, do it. That does not work because I'm still looking and I'm like walking around almost like, sort of looking like I'm doing one of those like drunk driver's tests, like one toe in front of the other. Like, this seems like the size of a body. This seems like the size of a body. Okay, person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4. And I think I find generally where he's at, because I realize the grass in that area looks a little bit like it's been there a minute, but it's still, developed. It's gentrified amongst the area that he's in. And so I was like, I think it's here. And then that's when the tears and hysterical, psychotic laughing comes in. Now, one thing about me is that if I'm in an awkward situation, I'm going to laugh my butt off. Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, that does not work. Take it from me. But usually, if you're having like an awkward moment, laugh your ass off, because it will get you through. So I'm sitting there like sobbing my eyes out while also mechanically laughing. To the right, there is a group of like 7 older Jewish people. Again, it's like a Jewish cemetery. And you can tell they're wearing their kippas and they have their sidors and they're doing their thing. And they're just looking at me going, what the actual is this girl doing? And I'm like, it's okay, guys. I'm just looking for my dad. And I just start almost like a dog digging into the ground. And then I realize my hand hits very hard, and I thought it was broken at one point. Hits the thing where like the flower thing where you would pull out and put flowers in. I put my hand there and I felt something move, and I realized that a whole ecosystem started in this in this flower thing, because that's how long it's been since someone's been there. And so I was like, Lord help me. Again, also Jewish cemetery. Lord help me, please. Like whoever's listening right now, just like whatever I do not get me bit. I like, that thing from Disneyland with the like sword, like the sword that no one can get out.
The sword in the rock.
The sword in the rock. That is what this felt like. I am like, trying to every time get it in. Finally, one magical grip, quick turn. I do it. Oh my gosh, you would have thought Horton Hears a Who was being filmed in this, because it had like 17,000 roly-polies, which again, the Who's. And then, you had these spiders, and I was sitting there, and then there was a wasp nearby, but I was so happy because I was like, I found my father. He's no longer a lump. He's a piece of grass, I was so happy. And so then, my first thought to my dad was, you thirsty? And then I pour the water and the flower thing and put it there. Had a whole, cry, debrief, hope you're proud of me, make this podcast work if that's cool. And yeah, so that's when we started calling this story. I came back and I told Michael this, and we were like, the infamous lump, aka my dad, because that, seems to be fitting. But honestly, my dad, let me just put this, was so much more than just like a lump. That's like a very, I think, satire way of dealing with a very sad thing. But if y'all are dealing with grief, especially like family, in that area, it gets better. Genuinely, I think having people around you and surrounding yourself with good people is like so important. So definitely a humorous story, but also want to put out there, like, I'm not a complete heartless person, because I can already hear some of my family members going, you're so serious. I'm like, you weren't the one that found him. You wouldn't be serious too. Anyway, let's get into our next topic, which is...
There's also a TikTok about her finding her father.
Yes, there is a TikTok.
So go watch it, because
watch
it's actually
TikTok.
really funny.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, that TikTok was so fun to make, because I was just like, you know what? No one's going to believe me. Like, who's going to, imagine going up to someone and saying, yeah, what were you doing? Oh, I was trying to find my father's grave. No, here's the next one. My grandma's. At least she got a headstone. God bless that. But, them Catholic cemeteries, it's like a maze.
No, yeah. No,
it's like Maze Runner.
No, because again, you didn't tell me where you were going. So she was gone the whole morning, half the afternoon, until I saw her post that TikTok. And then I was like, oh, that's where she went. And I just watched the TikTok. I was dying.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
But you have to understand, out of that TikTok, I edited all the hysterical crying and sobbing, because that just, again, I say as I'm posting this podcast, would ruin my image for employers. And so, I don't know. I'll say, my life really is just not that serious. Well, I mean, it is serious, but the stories that come from it are not. I guess that will lead to some of the things that happen. Or another topic that I want to address here, because you actually talked about it a few moments ago. I unintentionally gaslight. And, of course, I got hiccups right then and there. See? God's telling me I should be talking more. Mariana's Mouthful every month. But I unintentionally gaslight. And it's one of those things that I didn't realize I do, but it's just because my brain moves so fast and my mouth doesn't. So basically, as you just heard, I thought I told Michael that I'm going to my dad's house, right? No. I walked into the room, looked at him, didn't open my mouth, and then left. And if you want to know what it's like living in our house, that is exactly what it is. And first of all, let's make it very clear. I'm not going anywhere that's like unpredictable. And I'm not going to say exactly where, but if anything, I'm working out, school, or work, or doing content. I mean, one thing I will say is like every so often, this has been a new thing, as I go to Dolores Park. Honestly, since my boyfriend left for the academy, I found like a little solace there, just because it's like get to overlook and reflect, and it just makes you feel connected to some way in the city. But all to say, it's not that unpredictable of where I'm going these days, but I think I tell Michael, because our rooms are sort of set up where in order to get to my room and leave my room, I'll always pass his room based off the way it's set up. And so I'll poke my head in, say something that I think also includes where I'm going, and then I dip out. And then Michael will be like, oh, you're at Pilates? Oh, you're at school? Oh, and tell me. And I'm like, yeah, but I told you. He's like, baby girl, no, you didn't. And I don't mean to. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just a spawn of Dory from Finding Dory. When you think of the beginning of the Minion movie where they're like the little cells and they're just swimming around in the water, that was me and Dory. We were just vibing there, and she and I were hitting our heads. So of course, we're gonna have concussed memory loss of all times, but remember the good ones. We have good solid long-term memories, but I can memorize a BA rule statement, just can't tell you where I'm going.
Yeah,
take your win.
But I mean, like you said, it's nowhere that I don't already know where you're going, and I have your location, so it's yes, I know where you are.
Wait, can we actually talk about something really quick? And also, audience members, please let me know if you've had this experience. My iPhone, our locations will randomly just shut off sometimes, and I don't know what it is.
Does it become a big blue circle?
It just becomes a big blue circle, or it says you stop sharing, and then says you're resharing. Have you had that happen to you?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
Recently with my mom, and I was like, when did we stop sharing? Because you're an immigrant and Latina, so you want to know everything about me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would.
And then she started sharing her location with me again, and I was like, when did you
stop? But that's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. I don't know whatever it may be. And actually, this is something I was talking with Diane about yesterday. And we didn't write this in the podcast topic, but it leads to my current biggest fear in the world. I cannot foresee a World War III, right, where we have World War on the ground. But our tech infrastructure and how stupid we are as a society and how stupid our president and government is right now. Sorry, can you tell where my politics are? Just want to be on the right side of history. But literally, we're screwed. That's where we're at. We could get messed up in technology and AI. Imagine Pete Hegseth with putting, government plans in a group chat with the New York Times, journalist or whatever. Maybe it was the wrong name. Don't take me as quote for that. I'm more educated. I was the story a long time ago. But, that's where it's going to get hurt. And so Diane literally said to me, because about 2 years ago, I got really into tsunamis. And before I get any looks from the audience members, and because I can see Carlos on this one, and or anyone on the internet, if you're on the Pacific coast right now, if you are in California, no, I'm going to die on this hill. Tsunamis are a really big threat. We are messed up. And so my first final season, you'll remember this, I watched, and it's the most beautiful documentary in the world on Hulu, where it took all the footage that they ever had from the giant earthquake that hit the Philippines and then caused a tsunami there. They were able to put together after, I think, 22 years, all the footage, and basically show I think it's the heat.
It's the heater.
Right, when I talked about my dad. Every time, bro.
Hi, Papa Kramer.
Okay, Carlos, we'll talk about this after. But the paranormal things that happened in my house are just not.
That's another podcast.
It's another podcast.
That's
Spooky.
That's another
No,
episode.
no,
Experiences, let me tell you that.
I'm like, she has stories, I have stories.
no. Literally, we have like an image of like one of the lamps being like lifted. Anyway, that came into the picture.
Tsunamis.
Oh, tsunamis. Because y'all don't get this. So I watched this documentary. First of all, it was during my first semester of law school, and you know, if I was thinking about one existential crisis, why not add another? So I watched this documentary, and I have decided baby, are you listening to me right now? This is very important. We're buying tsunami pods. They're like $13,000 each, probably around $17,000 in the current market. Again, energy drinks. And I don't think you understand. If you are in California, wherever we are, like with climate change, our environment is already messed up, but the way that our oceans are set up and the way that we are actually destined for a tsunami at some point in the next 20 years is crazy. And did you know that half the weather systems in the U.S., not in the U.S., but in the Pacific, I think it's, Pacific Northwest and then towards Malaysia as well, stem from the original tsunami that happened in around 2002, 2003. So genuinely, I don't want to scare you more than I probably already will with the next few things I'm going to say, but check out tsunamis and be prepared. And actually, fun fact, Carlos, I don't think I've ever told you this or told you this, but my very first final in law school, we got a tsunami warning in San Francisco. I did not care about Civ Pro. I took my dog and I took my emergency tsunami pack, which I have that, but I don't have a fire extinguisher in my apartment. And I booked my ass to my apartment door, apartment 1244. I'm like on the 12th floor in the bathroom, putting all the things together so that if the building starts swaying, like I know where the water's going. I do a little test thing set up. Then they told us that it was all good. But I was really prepared I wasn't about to take that Civ Pro final.
There's like, you can keep this in if you want to or not.
Yeah.
I've made like a bunch of TikToks about like the cosmos and space and shit. That's my current dive.
Yeah.
Before that, it was about the faults. You know, the faults.
Yeah, and San Andreas right now is...
Well, okay, so there's San Andreas, and then there's another fault that makes like the Canadian fault. But then there's a fault in between the two that's slipping under all the faults. So they said that as soon as that happens, then that's our big one. And it's supposed to happen in like 40 years. Some shit like that.
Aw, that's good knowing y'all.
But it's currently slipping under both faults. So that means two faults are going to collide because one fault falls under it, and then we're going to get like a massive earthquake.
You know, just...
Okay. Moon to Mars.
Honestly, that I get why Bezos and Katy Perry and all of them were going up to the moon. I would too. It sounds like a little bit better than what we got going on down here. Oh my God. No, existential crisis. See, we get to my tsunamis, we get into, yes, the tech breaches. I just think we're screwed. Like, I think that's probably where I'm at, and I don't mean to sound like so grim, because I have a lot of optimism in our society, maybe more than most, and actually that's one thing that I probably get ridiculed on by most people in my, social circle from. It's like, you just have a lot of hope in society. I'm like, well, if you don't, you let, the big guy win. Like, people talking about how, they can't do anything about what's going on with ICE or what's going on with the environment or whatever. I'm like, if you start saying that, then you've officially let these people win. It's about staying active, staying, intelligent and educated on these issues, advocating when you can and using your privilege in such a way, if you have such privilege, or even using what you have in your tool set in your skill set to advance whatever issues it is. So, I'd rather be taken out by a tsunami than our current administration, so I'm okay with that.
Have you seen the movie I, Robot?
No.
With Will Smith?
Is that where we're going? Is that like WALL-E?
No,
I just imagine WALL-E and Will Smith.
It's literally this movie where it's these white robots controlled by, it's AI. Like, these robots are made by AI.
So ChatGPT was...
come to life, and they start killing people. I'd rather have that. I'm ready.
You'd rather have that than Iran?
I'd rather have that, yes.
I'm
ready.
I just want all of you to know that my solo episode is coming out. It's going to be our November episode. that is when I will officially tell the story about where I was when Iran got bombed, because I think that is one of the greatest stories that anyone could ever have, as well as what I learned in a bar in New York from people who worked at the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, or specifically ladies here, and I guess gentlemen if you want to use this as well, sometimes just sitting back and listening and letting a man mansplain things will get you some pretty interesting governmental secrets. So, all to say, stay tuned for that one. But where we're going, oh yeah.
Can we go back to unintentional gaslighting really quick?
Yeah, of course.
Because you unintentionally gaslight, but I do as well. We just do it very different from each other.
Okay, yes. You gotta
We do it very different from each other.
Hit me with it.
You do it in a way where you think you tell me. I do it in the way where I tell you, and then I forget that I tell you. We come back to having a conversation. You bring up what I told you, and I forget that I tell you, and we have a whole argument about the fact that I told you, and then I'm so clueless, and I'm like, oh wait,
oh yeah, we had this whole combo.
Did I tell you already? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, when? And it's just.
But also, we have to understand though, like that's probably also a little bit on me as well, because the one thing and I'm trying to be better at this, like generally, and I think in the last few months, specifically, especially when social media started to do its thing, is being really present with someone. So like putting my phone down, like if I'm having dinner with Ray, like I'll put my like phone down or turn it away so that I'm more present with him, or like if I'm having dinner with you, I do the same. But especially I think the conversations that we have, especially because we live with each other, like that's just the truth of it, right? Especially when we live with each other, you're coming in when I'm studying, right? So I'm looking at my monitor, and sometimes you think I'm not listening, but the one thing you should know about me is I am already having like 5 conversations with 5 of my personalities. Why not add Michael into the mix? So I can have that 6 convo, like as you're like sort of sitting ninja, corner or ninja style in the, back of my room, which by the way, Michael moves like a ninja. So also what happens is I don't even hear him come in, and he comes up like almost Grim Reaper style right behind me and is like, by the way, and I'm like, literally I shake.
No, not even that. I will come into your room and I'll just stand there until you notice.
Yeah.
I won't even stand directly behind you. I'll stand like a few feet away until you like turn around and finally notice.
See, that's okay. I've thought about this so many times. Like I can punch, I can fight if something ever happened, like, get jumped or whatever it may be. But like my lack of awareness for when that is happening is so mess. Like I could fight, but he's fucking shaking his head because it's so true. Like we call it Phelps mode, right? And if you've ever seen the meme of like Michael Phelps, he's like wearing his Bose headphones and he's like straight forward into the camera and just like so locked in. That's me. That is just how I operate as I am. And I think it's why people think I'm so mean all the time, because it's like I look like I will kill you. And I can. I don't really want to though. Like I don't really feel the need to these days. I've found peace and found God, so that's been a really great way of going about it. I highly recommend it to folks. But actually, religion, whatever it may be for you, just some kind of higher power, a way of letting go, because people are going to be assholes anyway. So what are you going to do about it? But all to say, I forgot how this was connecting back to what I was going into. Oh, Phelps mode. So for Phelps mode, I don't pay attention, and so right when my noise canceling equivalent, opens up, we're at ambient, you may say. Is that the correct word? I don't know. What is the audio thing? Ambience. Yeah. See, I can do audio, but that's so true. Not, yeah, no. Give me a negligence. Give me a negligence claim instead. What was I doing? Corporations? Corporations issue. Here's that corporate veil. You guys, I just took a final on Friday and then went straight to Outside Lands. It was one of the craziest things I've ever done in my life, and I think I'm still recovering, which is why I feel a little bit all over even in this episode, because I still feel like I'm recovering it. But genuinely, I just don't hear him. I don't hear him at all. And then he comes in ninja style, and I think I'm going to die, and I accept it.
She can't sneak up on me, though.
No, me and my big little...
No, it's not even because of your footsteps. It's because I can see you in my peripheral when you open my door.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Or even when my door's open.
I'm just not that sneaky. I breathe too loud anyway.
That is true.
No matter what, so I had a deviated septum, which is like, and before everyone's like, that's just what people say so they can get the nose job. Okay, I got the nose job, and I also had a deviated septum. So I was 16. God bless. And everyone, really quick, if you're watching the video, yes, my nose is perfect. Thank you. She's a doctor in Long Beach near Temple Beth Shalom. I don't know her name.
And only I will ever have the before pictures.
Oh my gosh, the way you have the before photos is crazy.
500 a picture.
500 a photo before my nose
You can
job.
Venmo me, thank you.
Okay, I don't even think Ray's seen those. Like, my pre-nose job is, you know what?
They're 500 for him too.
And you know what? In this economy, hell yeah, brother. So I got this nose surgery, right? That was supposed to help my breathing. I still breathe like Darth Vader. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, there is no amount of modern medicine that will be able to fix. I think maybe it's just the built up anxiety that I've had for so long that I now am able to control it, but now it manifests into this shallow breathing of like, I even say it to Ray all the time. I'm like, I sound like I'm on dialysis. Like, especially in my bed too, like, because I have this, like, I love my bedding, but it does look a little bit grandma-y. It does look like you would see it in like a nursing home. And so sometimes I'm laying there and I hear myself breathing and I'm like, in 70 years I'm laying here and I'm wondering if it's going to be my last night. This is like, I'll think about this moment, like, and again, that's such a morbid thing to think about, but like, what else am I supposed to do? I'm trying to fall asleep. And I hit Penjamina too many times, so it's a fun battle I deal with every day. How's your sleep schedule? Do you want to tell the audience?
Well,
Actually, can you tell them where it was before and the improvement you made? Because there has been improvement. I am so proud of you.
I don't even know how this improvement happened. To be honest, it's just been happening.
I think your body was so subconscious, like, we need to fucking figure this out.
It went from the beginning of the summer, it was 7 a.m. is when I went to bed. And I would wake up at like 4 p.m.
Yeah. Our things this summer could be related to depressive episodes.
Yeah.
I did my big one this time. Mercury in retrograde was not it. I don't know who.
It was so bad.
Sorry, that was horrendous. Continue.
I was like, the first 2 days of LA was fine, and then
it just hit downhill, bro.
I was like, this is bad. I was like, I feel bad.
The thoughts, they're coming in again.
And then
LA was great for me. My man surprised me.
And then
because you're a Pokemon, could never.
And then halfway through July, I started going to bed at like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And then I wake up somewhere between 7 to 10.
10? Yeah.
Somewhere around that.
But like, it works for us. Like, here's the thing. If you also have to understand, if you walk into our house, you would think that poltergeist is living here sometimes, because it's me scurrying around from like 7 to 8:30. Mind you, this is usually not when my partner is here, because when I'm mama of the house and papa of the house. So I take care of the cooking, cleaning, make sure everyone's taken care of. Dogs are fed. We have the walks to go in through. And then because of how my boss likes to work these days, I am usually responding to our client emails in the morning, or dealing with stuff in the morning, and then dealing with whatever edits were made that previous night around that time. All in the while, like, you can hear him dead asleep in his room, but you also can hear his TV, which more recently has been a very soothing sound. I don't know what you're listening to.
Yeah, so I found a lot of like, they're like 24-hour like sleep hypnosis kind of things, where some of them will help with like relaxing your mind for like anxiety and like stuff like that. So
what made you feel like you wanted to do that? Like, or how did you find those?
It just showed up, actually. Because
your YouTube said go to sleep. Your YouTube said no more K-pop.
Well, because before that I would listen to like those like 24-hour like lo-fi musics, the black screen ones. But then even before that, I would just watch random like YouTube videos. Yeah. I don't know why I stopped, but then I started the sleep hypnosis ones or whatever, and it just works.
Yeah. You should know me. I've accepted I'm just never going to sleep. Even then, it will be yeah, I probably, the thing is, I do go to sleep relatively early, but Mariana sleeping is like, I'm always half awake. It wouldn't be until around like 2 a.m. to like 5 a.m., like that 3 hour gap is when I hit REM cycle. That's why I will never get an Aura ring. Like, I already thrive off of academic validation, which is what I worked through this last year. I feel like I would grade myself and my life based on what my Aura ring sleep score is. And I know it would be a low 20s, which is somehow worse than what I did in law school my first year. So we are not going to do that. But I do think about like what that kind of, way of sleeping or falling asleep would go. Recently,
what, like 2-3 days ago, we were both up at 2 a.m. grabbing water or something like that.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I just want a breakfast sandwich. I want
No, recently I've been going to bed later.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've still been waking up early.
Dude, I think it's the depressive episodes. Maybe just...
Yeah, last night was
Yeah.
Last night was interesting.
You know what? Everyone needs a good cry.
But
bro.
I needed it because I went to the gym today, so we got to win.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the biggest proponent. A good cry sesh is so cathartic. And that's the one thing. Like, there are very few people in the world who see me cry. And actually, I just unintentionally gaslit all of you because I have posted videos of me crying to the internet. And that's probably how you found me the first time. But since then, my actual tears of less like, oh my God, my life is over. Which, okay, they were real tears in all my videos. But I'm just saying, like, anyone that knows me when I cry, it's actually more of like this silent crying type. I'm just like sitting there, like the tears are coming down. And I look like Coraline, like that scene where she's like, it looks like the makeup's falling a little bit. Like, but I'm just sitting there and I'm like looking straight forward. All to say, I'm really glad that you are finding a new way to sleep. Depressive episodes are so natural, and again, it's something that you can work through, and it's really important to have like friends and people that support you. I think that's again how we've gotten through. I mean, we're not new to hardship. We're not new to depressive episodes. I think that's the one thing that we've been able to do in like the last 11 years really is we learn how that works with each other. And I knew when you were going through yours, which always happens, it's like you need to put all your thoughts together in paper, and then you give it to me like a script, and then I deal with that. And then anyone that knows me knows I shut down to the point that I just don't exist. Like, I am just moving through the motions of life, which as I've recently learned is not a great way to deal with things sometimes, but we are making progress forward. Go us. Yes, you too, baby. Yeah, said man who I was like, oh shit, I gotta really fix it now. I'm like, someone cares about me. It's like, it's like, wait, you actually want me to talk about my emotions when I'm going through something? You don't just hand me a Miller Lite?
You're not just gonna buy me a soju bottle?
You're not just gonna buy me a soju?
And let me drink my feelings away?
You're not gonna let my alcoholism come through? Well, unfortunate. God forbid we're healthy. And, I got to the best shape of my life, and now I gotta be like, oh, God, I gotta take care of it. Oh.
Literally.
Yeah, no, my actual, weed consumption has also gone down significantly as well, and I think that is also a sign. Really, look at it now, as we're having this convo, there were a lot of warning signs for both of us.
I mean, your weed consumption went down, but my Nick consumption is at an extra high.
Can we talk about this? And actually, I'm going to be so candid right now. Mom, if you're watching, and I know you are and listening to this, please, whatever you do, know that I'm no longer doing this. But when my boyfriend left for what he was doing with the fire stuff, I realized that my normal way of coping, aka using whether it was Chief Puff Dis or whoever it may have been, that's what I call my weed pen sometimes, Chief Puff Dis. And I was trying to figure out, okay, what will help me? I do remember one time, I did hit a vape and it felt really relaxing. And so I ended up getting a vape, and Michael and I look at each other. I come home and I show it to him, and he's like, Oh, it's like that scene from the Grogu in The Mandalorian where it's like, oh, come to me. Like literally, it was like that's what this like this blue vape was our baby Grogu. It kept getting put between us like every single time. But I realized that nicotine makes me sick,
And that was where it got bad because it was always next to me.
yeah, because I was like, I can't do this. And even so, like, I could obviously push through and build the, endurance thing. Because that's what happens is, it's supposed to make you feel sick. And then you go, oh, shit, I need this. And then that's what it was. And I was like, this is my time to stop. I stopped. He took it on. And what are you at? How many bars? Because I had our first vape lasted us 2 weeks collectively between the both of us.
She got the second one 2 days ago. There's 4 bars total.
Yeah.
One is already gone.
So.
And it's mostly just been me.
Yeah, I may have hit it once.
I also had to charge it last night.
I did not have to charge it once.
I did not have to charge
it once. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to obviously incentivize vaping. I also think it's like up to you, but I think it's disgusting. I also did it, so I'm telling myself it's a hypocritical thing as well. I have so many hypocritical things to say, but like I do not think it's hypocrisy if I've learned from it. So that's the caveat. So as someone who's not, doing the nicotine thing now, it's not good for you, but that's sort of where we're at, and that can tell you, I feel like where our mental state is at. But, it is cool to, as sort of messed as our like stories are or whatever. I think the one thing that Michael and I have just like done such a good job on is really identifying, okay, you need to stop, or like we'll put the boundaries in place for each other. I don't know. I just got the following text from one of my friends. Am I crazy? He replied, I'm going to beat his ass, I swear. Another one. You look like someone's dad. Cool. And my Manjaro's ready at CVS. Y'all want to know how I lost the weight? I wish it was just Manjaro. I actually had to really work out for it, but shout out to GLP-1s. Also okay with like the cancer risk in the future, but at least I'm skinny.
Two blood tests to take tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Yes, the blood
Two
tests.
separate.
Oh, the blood tests. You cannot catch me doing a blood test these days. Moni,
no, it's funny. Yeah, literally. Like
girl,
shut up.
Oh my God. Some people beat their dogs. I feed them and tell them that they need to stop eating as much. Get the pitas over here. Fucking. Dude, I don't know if you've ever seen this, like the San Francisco PETA organization over in Market when they start doing their like demonstrations. That is the most uncoordinated group of people I've ever seen in my entire life. They're like supposed to, you can tell what they're trying to do. It's like standing back to back, like the past and the future of our society. Girl, y'all aren't even back to back. Like the demonstration is not demonstrating. You're about to walk into shit on Market Street. Watch where you're going.
Anyways, what I was going to say.
Yes.
Was that I might have, almost 30 tattoos. I still hate fucking needles.
I don't know how you do that.
Because doctor needles are like this big.
Have you seen an epidural needle?
Yes. I've seen you put your Manjaro needle in. That don't look cute either.
Oh, no. Have I ever told you about the time that Ray wanted to do my Manjaro shot? And he thought that so to do this, when you do a Manjaro shot, you have to, basically you unlock it and then you put it here and you gently press the button on top and it just guides the needle into your thigh. And that's how it works. I've done it plenty of times. It's not obviously amazing and comforting to do, but you can do it at home. But obviously doing the Manjaro shot is like not the most comforting thing in the world. Ray, the first time, was like, I want to, because again, my boyfriend's amazing. He always wants to help out. I just you put it here and you just press the button. What I should have known is that you got to give some, as I say, explaining things to a man is like explaining color to someone who's never seen it. I'm like, I should have given some parameter about how hard you push the button. He goes and pushes it so hard. And it's not like, it doesn't hurt. I just went, ow. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he like takes it off. And so I like watch $300 of medicine just like pop out of this like dial. And he's like, not like didn't say anything at first. And he's like, because I think he realized like how much it was cost. It's like, I got it, don't worry about it, whatever. Which again, we got it taken care of, whatever. Just said there was a deficiency. If you're my insurance company, there was a deficiency in that product, and you should have put a better label on the actual bottle, on the actual product itself, and that is a consumer claim anyway. So I made the joke. He's like, well, I said to hurt you. I said, you want to be an EMT. If someone says ow when you're giving them, medical attention, you're going to step back and not give them attention? Like, what do you mean? But honestly, I would too, because I can't imagine being a medical personnel. If someone be like, that hurts, I'm like, sorry, I'll stop. like you're choking, I'm sorry. Sorry, like I think about this all the time. Like, this is why I don't think I can do food service. Oh, I worked at Chipotle, but like, Chipotle, what are you going to do? So I could never give someone the Heimlich.
I've never had to, thank God.
What do you mean I have to go behind and like do a J motion? Isn't that what you have to do? I don't know. I only went to the Red Cross
Never
thing.
had to.
There's actually such a fun story about me. I only went to the Red Cross like training thing because I had a fat crush on this guy in high school that was like doing it, and like I did not learn shit in that fucking module or whatever they had to do. That's how I've been in law school for some time. What's it called? Workshops, like the certification things. Yeah. Anyway, one of the certifications to get like CPR certified or whatever. You would be surprised that the Red Cross does not give certain certifications sometimes. You actually have to pass the actual thing, and I did not pass it because I was not paying attention. Did I promise to go back? Yes. Did I ever go back? No. And you know what? I'm better for the world because of it. You are better better have someone else give you medical intervention. It will not be me. I cry at like paper cuts. You wanted to be a neurosurgeon with your shaky hands. I don't want to even hear it with that. He wanted to be a neurosurgeon. He's like, wait, show him really quick. You're literally shaking right now.
I can't tell.
Yeah, because it's normal.
It gets worse.
Yeah. Babe, do you shake? Do your hands shake? No? Yeah, that's normal out of all of this.
Thanks, Dad.
Honestly, he probably is really happy to hear from you.
Went a lot off topic.
We did so many things off topic. What are we recording at right now? How many minutes are we at? We're at hour 15 right now? Oh my God. Okay, so I think we can cut first episode here then. But again, y'all can listen to Mariana's Mouthful either on YouTube if you're watching it now. Hello, thank you for being here. Or you can watch us or listen to us over on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, and I believe there's one other, but either way, you can look at that all in the description below. Make sure to follow us on social media. You can look me up on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Michael is obviously tagged in most of my stuff as well, but he's available on Instagram and TikTok.
Also a Twitch streamer.
Oh, he's also a Twitch streamer.
If you like playing games.
Listen, here's the thing. I'm just a Nintendo girl, so I wish I can... I literally said this to Ray earlier, that we are an edited family. We are not a live stream family. I need to be edited, filtered, and then bleeped out, because you best believe you probably spend enough time with me to know that at this point too. So all to say, thank y'all so much for listening to the very first episode of Mariana's Mouthful, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.